This is Mongolian Mindset, and today we're going to be doing a breakdown of Jake Paul. But before we get into that, we're going to be talking about the Mega Live this Friday. So what happens with that is I'll be putting out a Zoom link in the group, the Facebook group, so join that. And what we do is we go through each person who joins and we talk about the goals that we accomplished that month and what's the goals for the following month. This month was February, so we'll be talking about the things we accomplished in February, and then we'll be talking about what we're going to do in March as well. It's a good way to stay motivated, to have some accountability, and to get things done. We've been having a lot of new members join, so that's going to be interesting to see the new faces and what energy they're going to bring. So that'd be awesome. If you feel like you want to get in on that, please join our Facebook group and be ready 4 p.m. Friday Eastern time. But let's get into this. So we're going to break down Jake Paul. Personality database, our sworn enemy has him as an ESTP. You guys know what we use. We use Linda Barrens Interaction to break down celebrities. So, yeah. But let's get into it. So they have him as an ESTP. ESTPs are SE in the hero spot, TI in the parent spot, FE in the child spot, and in the fourth spot, the inferior, they have NI. In the fifth spot, the opposing personality, catch up. John Beebe's material. The opposing personality, they have SI. In the sixth spot, the critic, they have TE. In the seventh spot, the trickster or the blind spot, they have FI. And in the angelic or demon function, they have NE. So let's get into this.
And that affected me. And it's still, and I was doing it because it made me feel better about myself, because I was actually, insecure, I guess, at that time. And not confident in myself with it, and to put on events and be consistent, and to create a brand just in general. I grew up as a...
Create a brand and be consistent and be on the TEFI. Brand, I need that brand, baby.
A bully, just on school buses, like calling people names and stuff, like, didn't realize what I was really doing. It was just jokes, but that really affects those kids. Which at the time I was like, didn't think it was harmful, and I was doing it because it made me feel better about myself, because I was actually, insecure, I guess, at that time, and not confident in myself. And so,
sound like a lot of FI there. Not confident in yourself, picking on other people.
When I got older, I started posting my videos online, and I was getting all these negative comments. People from my school were like, "Your videos aren't funny. You're an idiot. You're cringe. You're a clown."
Talking about what other people are doing, SENI.
Clown, you're making fun, like you look stupid, and that affected me, and it still does, like, till this day, because those comments are real. And basically that was my experience of getting cyberbullied, and I see it as such a big problem in our generation that no one's really talking about. It's crazy, because it affects so many young kids. I know it affected me, and I see it all the time. Negativity on the internet is so powerful, and so just wanted to fight back and raise awareness against it. And
want to fight back and wear awareness for it. Let's FI again. FI calls.
Possible. And boxing helped me, like, gain the confidence to not necessarily care what people are saying about me anymore. I think boxing helped me, like, find myself, gave me a purpose, gave me motivation, and it made me confident in myself, to tell the truth. A lot of the biggest fighters ever turned or found themselves in a boxing gym.
Talking about what other people are doing. A lot of best fighters did X, Y, and Z.
Because of bullying. Mike Tyson, someone, was making fun of him with his pigeons, killed one of his pigeons, boom, ends up in a boxing gym because he wanted to be able to defend.
He's talking about outcomes too. Very interesting.
Himself.
So what was involved with bringing this idea to fruition?
Man, it was a long process. Months of just, like, planning, ideation,
Planning, TE.
What are we gonna do? What is our purpose? What events are we gonna throw? We're renovating a gym in La Perla here in Puerto Rico, and our goal is just to get more boxing gloves out there.
Our goal, our outcome, to get more boxing gloves out there. TEFI again. It's 5 points for TEFI. Jake Paul's a TEFI user. So being a TFI user, that eliminates ESTP off the back. Okay, but we're gonna keep collecting points because we're gonna see just how many we can get here. But off that alone, he can't be a ESTP. Sorry, person on database. You guys seem to fuck up ENTJs all the time, don't y'all?
Renovate more gyms and throw more events to get kids specifically involved into the sport and just, sort of raise that message. But
What do you enjoy about it?
when you give, you get. And the first event that we did, I was really nervous.
Okay, I mean, it's pretty easy to see this guy's direct. Okay, direct TFI SENI and outcome. So it's looking like he's an ENTJ. But yeah, that was surprising. Jake Paul. I don't know if we want to accept him in our account.
Here in Puerto Rico, there was like 150 kids coming. I was nervous. Showtime was filming me, so that made it even worse. Like, okay, what if this all goes wrong and it's all on camera?
What if all this goes wrong? That'd be in the realm of abstract. The what if? What if all that goes wrong?
And man, it just went great. Like the first kid that basically came up to me had a big smile on his face, and
Talking about
that
what
sort
other
of
people.
like instantly broke the tension. I took a picture with everyone in there, and we just started handing out gloves, and everyone just had good energy, and they were so thankful, and it ended up being such a success. When I saw,
He's talking about giving people a good experience here. That's SE. That's E.
how inspired these kids were. I saw how hard they were working in the workouts. I saw how they were like so attentive
Talking about what other people are doing. More SE.
to what I was saying. It felt good to be able to teach them about boxing, about my message, and to give
Talking
them
about my message. FI, SE, and I again. So SE, NI, and TFI are already closed.
a fun day of just boxing, and we had pizza and ice cream, and I think it just left a good impression on everyone.
Have somebody a good impression. That's more SE. Giving people a good experience. So just based off him being TFI, SE, NI, he can only be ENTJs are SE, NI, and TFI, and INTJs. Okay, that's just him being TFI, SENI, and ESFP and ISFP. Just based off being a TFI user and SENI, he could only be one of those four types. Okay, but with him also being direct language, he's very specific, concise, and to the point. With him just being direct, that already makes him an ENTJ or INTJ. Okay, so ISFP is eliminated and ESFP is eliminated because Jake Paul's direct language. Go back, tell me if you see anything that's informative. I don't see any. So based off that alone, Jake Paul's the NTJ. I know it's going to shock a lot of people.
The feeling of winning in front of a sold-out crowd at Manchester Arena.
Definitely one of the greatest accomplishments
Talking about accomplishments, TFI some more.
of my life. I feel like that's one of the main reasons I fell in love with boxing, because I'd never experienced that big of a W. Everything about it was
Talking about accomplishment and outcomes. Outcomes and accomplishments. Is he talking about the progression at all? No, he's not.
crazy. There was so much on the line. It was like US versus UK, brothers versus brothers.
That's a TE comparison right there. So, we are beating TEFI to death.
When I took that W
So,
on the big
any of you critics in here that says he's not he's an ESTP, yeah, why is he saying so many TEFI statements? Where are the FE and TI statements at? There's practically none.
biggest stage possible, and I proved everyone wrong, and I had worked so hard to achieve that, and it was my first
To achieve that, TEFI some more.
training camp in boxing and first fight ever, so it was easily like
Talking
one
about
of
the outcome
hardest
again.
things, learning to box in 5 months, sparring every single day. I would come out bleeding, and like I could barely move my arms. It's the hardest sport in the world for a reason.
What made you decide
Hardest sport
to
in the world for a reason. That's some TEFI some more. I don't know if that's necessarily true.
make that transition to boxing full time, or even start to consider it?
I just felt like I could finally be myself, and
I can finally be free. That's something pragmatic. Finally be myself, and that's some more FI.
sort of take back control of my life.
Taking back more control over my life. That's the outcome. More control.
As a boxer, whereas before I was doing all of these stupid things to get attention on camera for my YouTube channel. 'Cause, I mean, when
I was doing stupid things on the camera to get an outcome. There you go, some more outcome. So looking like he's TEFISENENI, outcome indirect. He's ENTJ. We're done. But for fun, we'll keep going.
when you wake up, 2 years straight, every single day, filming a video for 15 minutes, after like a year and a half, you're like, man, how do we keep this entertaining? Doing stuff that you normally wouldn't do just to get views. And that's such an unhealthy place to be in life. And I feel like boxing gave me just a purpose and a path, and it fit me
Path is NI. Path, NI.
perfectly, from the talk, the outfits, the height,
Shit talk to the outfits, to the pragmatic, some more pragmatic.
tension, the actual fight. Like I'm a fighter. I fought for everything I have in my life. I've really built everything from grit, hard work, determination, and it's been a fight. I've learned a lot, made a lot of mistakes, and so I feel like fighting is an outlet for me to just express myself.
How much did you learn when you went to the mountains in California in Big Bear and visited Sugar Shane Mosley?
And that was really where, my passion just went to a whole nother level. And I knew that this is something that I wanted to do for the very foreseeable future. I felt
Future focus, abstract, more SE and I.
in love with it, and learning from Shane Mosley, what it takes to be a champion. And he would show me that and tell me that every single day, how hard you have to work. And I remember he took me to a gym, just as I was starting to get better and better and better, and I was getting a little confident. He took me to a gym and threw me in with this world champion for my first time against a world champion. And the kid just, beat me up for 3 rounds straight. I didn't give up. He didn't knock me down or anything, but I took a beating. Like, I was bruised
he's
everywhere.
not talking about the progression or anything. It's just the outcome. It's like the end product. Outcome's the end product. He's just talking about the end product. Yeah, took me to this place, got my ass beat 3 rounds. He ain't talking about, in the first round I was doing this, or this round, or the second round I was doing this. He's not talking about that at all.
Or like messed up nose. And Shane was like, you just earned my respect because I know that you'll never quit and you have a champion's mindset. And now I'm even more excited to train you because I know that you're special. Most people wouldn't sit there and just take that beating for 3 rounds and not give up.
What led to the deal with Showtime?
Business is business, right? And when I'm putting up massive numbers on pay-per-view.
And I'm putting up massive numbers, TFIN outcome. I'm putting up massive numbers.
Steven Espinoza sees that. I want to
Steven Espinoza sees that. That's SE. There we go. Let's go.
legitimize myself as a professional boxer. And Showtime was the perfect intersection and platform to go to do this. And I told him straight up, I was like, yo, I'm going to be undefeated. No one's ever going to beat me. I'm in the gym twice a day, every single day. I'm going to knock out all these guys, and let's do it on Showtime. And he took the chance, and, it's paid off thus far.
Paid off. The outcome has been great. All the critics out there, man, unfortunately, Jake Paul is an ENTJ.
Your goals are 10-0, and you want to fight kind of the next few years, right?
Yeah.
And
2
you
or
can
3.
even say what he just said was him going to Showtime and showing him his NI parent vision and getting him to buy in. I'm not going to lose. I'm going to knock out all these guys. Getting people to buy into his NI parent.
4 years, the goal is to get to 10-0, maybe grab a world championship belt in the last fight there.
Maybe he's talking about the future there, so that would be abstract. And that'd be talking about championship belts. You want that championship belt, don't you? GEFI.
And just retire with the belt and ride off into the sunset.
And you said in terms of financial upside, like 250 to $500 million.
If I play my cards right over, which I have been, all I have to do is win. The pay-per-view number.
Look at him. Look at this. This is what blows your mind right here. He's getting real ENTJs right here.
Are there, right? So, and the fights are only getting bigger, and
outcome.
The revenue is only increasing.
The revenue is only increasing
by each fight. So, 5-6 more fights.
Future focus.
I can make $250 million.
What if?
Sure.
You have a goal of becoming a billionaire.
Talking about money.
Explain why you love talking to billionaires.
I think they create the future.
Oh, future focus again. Billionaires.
Their dedication, their work ethic, and the way they think about life is just amazing. The billionaires, once they get to that level, they just want to see other good people succeed a lot.
Talking about what other people want, that'd be NE. But ENTJs have NE in the critic spot, so it will come out.
Out of them, and they just want to uplift everyone and give free advice and mentor. And
they want to do this, they want to do that. That's more SE.
I've never really had a mentor, sort of take me under their wing, and so I've just learned from different people.
How well do you remember the unsolicited email you sent to Mark Cuban?
I was a young entrepreneur creating my first company.
My first company, young entrepreneur, TFI.
18 years old, and my idea was to create, a social media group, almost like a boy band, but for social media. And
my idea was this. Okay, you're talking about ideas, abstract.
I went out to raise money from investors. I cold emailed Mark Cuban, and he basically said, I don't think this is a good idea, but good luck. And rightfully so, I probably wouldn't have thought it was a good idea either, but turns out it was. We became the number one most talked about thing.
Number one most talked about thing, TFI achievement.
On the internet.
Talking about the outcome. Did he walk you through how he did it? No, he did not. Outcome, end product.
Digitally, that there was for about 2 years straight. And I framed his email and put it above my desk as motivation every day to just prove him wrong.
And credit to him for at least getting back to you with anything.
No, exactly. I mean, it's inspiring. I think I don't look at it as a bad thing. I thank him for denying me.
So I want to ask you about some fighters. The first one being Floyd Mayweather Jr. When did you first realize that your brother fighting him was actually a possibility?
It wasn't until 6 weeks before the fight where it was actually confirmed. I think Floyd woke up one day and just posted a fight date on his Instagram with a fight poster. And before that, it was sort of all just a rumor. I remember being with my brother. It was actually after I beat Ben Askren, and we were in Miami celebrating, and we both woke up hungover, and he was like, "Oh, I guess this is real. June 6th, I'm fighting Floyd." And he immediately flew here home to Puerto Rico and just started training in training camp.
When you grabbed his hat, what are you thinking?
Man, I wasn't thinking past just that moment. It was sort of like a...
I wasn't thinking past that moment, SE.
Reckless mission where I just really became...
A reckless mission. So you had the outcome in mind.
Obsessed with the idea of taking his hat once I saw it. And once he was insulting me. He was insulting me in the press conference. And so I was like, oh, okay, you want to loop me into this? No problem. And I was like, okay. The only way
You
that
want
this
to
is
loop me into this? Any?
gonna work is if I go up to him, act like I'm talking smack.
See, he had literally a plan for this. You know, he had a plan to get the outcome, to get the hat. Listen to it.
Just snatch it and see how far I could run.
And your brother was actually initially mad at you, right?
I think he was just caught off guard. He was scared for me because he didn't know what happened. Like he saw me getting jumped by, 20 different guys. So as an older brother, he was freaking out and panicking. And then I think he realized, like, oh wow, that just made this fight so much more real. Right. The storyline got 10 times better because Floyd's pissed off. Now he wants to kill the Paul brothers. And then the next day, news articles come out saying he's training harder than he was training against McGregor to fight Logan. So now the fight just got that much more real. The videos accumulated over $1 billion in
Talking about sales, TFI, and outcome like a mofo.
media value for free just because I got punched in the face. And I'm like, yo, I just sold you probably like 400,000 more pay-per-view buys, so you could thank me later.
You can thank me later for what I just did. Oh my God.
What do you think of Canelo?
I think he's great, man. I respect him. I think we've had words back and forth, and he says I need to work on my boxing ability, and I agree. Like, of course, 100% I do. And I've really come to like his personality. Actually, I think when he started, doing more media, showing his life behind the scenes, he never really had done that before.
Talking about what other people
and I
doing,
watched
we
your
beat
guys'
this
sit-down
hammerhead.
talk, and I realized, he's a good guy, and maybe in a different lifetime, we would probably be friends. However, I still want to fight him, and I still think it would be a massive fight. And I think
We could talk about the numbers again, and still what he wants to, SENI, I'm on the NI spectrum.
my path is
My
leading
path,
to that.
SENI some more.
And this year, 2021, Canelo will be the #1 highest paid boxer, and I will be #2.
Talking
So
about achievements and outcomes. Achievements and outcomes.
what better fight than to put the #1 highest paid and the #2 highest paid against each other, because that equals the biggest payday. At the end of the day, this is
Biggest payday outcome.
business. So as much as I respect
At the
him,
end of the day, this
I
is a
think
business.
3 years from now, us getting in the ring will be
Oh, talking about future focus again. He's getting distracted.
A, be massive, and B, 3 years from now, my skill level will be good enough to make it a serious competition.
What are the obstacles
Projecting to the future.
with you and Conor McGregor fighting?
I think Dana White is the obstacle #1. If Dana would let Conor out of his contract to set up the boxing match, I think that's what is needed to make it happen. And I think that will happen. And if Conor is, going to just continue to lose fights, he's 1 in 4 in the past 5 years. And so if he's just going to continue to lose, there's not much Dana's going to be able to do with him anyways. So cash him out one more time. But his manager is good friends with my manager, is good friends with another one of my advisors, and they talk constantly about making it happen. And they're like, yeah, we're down, we're about it.
And so if Dana is the biggest obstacle, what's the deal with you guys? You have some, like you said, the feud is kind of personal.
Not for me. I think it's personal for him.
Okay.
Because he's this old guy who is clearly like a control freak. And I'm the only one that's able to get under his skin.
Although it was a funny Halloween outfit you posted.
Yeah, the coke like smeared across my face in the coke bag and I put UFC,
Pragmatic.
unlimited free cocaine, because everyone knows about Dana's coke
Everybody else knows that's the TE. What everybody else knows, that's the TE.
issue and all the hookers and but
Pragmatic again. Damn.
I'm just a young kid having fun. Dana has the audience that I want. And
He has the audience that I want. That's NI.
so he doesn't realize that he's just playing into my game.
He's playing into my game. See, these guys are playing. He's planning everything out, bro. Come on now.
Because I have the YouTube audience, the digital audience, the TikTok, all that. What I want is the fight fans who will
What
pay
I want is the fight fans, and
$60, $70, $80 to see me fight. And all he's doing is making me 10 times more relevant in that space by playing my game.
You said when
it
comes to money, you've had trust issues before.
All right, so we're done here, man. We're done. It's pretty obvious that Jake Paul's ENTJ. If anyone sits down and actually watch this guy talk, you'll see he's an ENTJ. He has everything planned out. Like, everything's planned out. People just think he's an idiot, and I do think he probably overindulges in his SC child a lot, and that's the reason why he comes off very childish in his behavior and whatnot. But yeah, this guy's an ENTJ. And what we know is very early on was he's a TFI user. He beat the hell out of that. I mean, we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26 points on TFI. And SENI, we got 5, 10, 15, 17 points on that. So TFI, SENI automatically only makes him ENTJ, ESFP, INTJ, ISFP. Okay, this guy's very outcome focused and he's direct, so he's ENTJ. He's also abstract and pragmatic. So yeah, abstract, pragmatic, and initiated and systematic. Okay, he has a system for everything, and he plans out everything. So surprise, surprise. Personality database, this guy's an ENTJ. You guys are fucking idiots. But hey, I mean, us ENTJs probably don't want to welcome him over there. But yeah, personality database, you're terrible. But hey, we're out, guys.